Good evening, Senator Liz Bolden. We are just finishing the end of week 2 of the legislative session, and so wanted to hop on and give a little update of where things are at and what is taking place in St. Paul. To set the stage, we are in year 2 of our biennium, that 2-year cycle, and so last year was a budget year, this year is a policy year and bonding. So that will be the focus of our session this year. We've passed one bill off the floor already. Yesterday we passed some clarifications to the tax bill that we passed last year, which will help save Minnesotans money on their taxes. And it was important that we get it done early so that can happen, to be in place for the tax season that we are in right now. It passed unanimously with bipartisan support, so we are off to a good start in passing legislation. As a reminder, I'll just share the committees that I serve on. I'm the Vice Chair of Housing and Homelessness Prevention. I also serve on Health and Human Services, Education Policy, Elections, and new to me this year is the Transportation Committee. I'm also serving there, and so excited to be learning more about transportation. I'll share a little bit update of the bills that I've been having in hearings over the last couple of weeks. We're off to a quick start. It's a short session. We will be done by May 20th, and so we're working hard to get bills through before then. And so last week I had 3 bills heard in committee. One was around small businesses, child care organizations being able to set their own policies around immunizations. We know that immunizations work, and parents have the ability to make that choice for their kids. And small businesses should have the ability to set those policies. If they choose to set a policy to only have kids that are vaccinated in their facilities, they should be able to do that. Especially knowing that infants aren't fully vaccinated, they can't get those vaccinations, and so wanting kids to be safe. The other 2 bills last week were around in the Elections Committee around reporting to the Campaign Finance Board. So changing the rules so that local entities would also report up through the Campaign Finance Board like statewide candidates do as well. And so had good hearings and excited to move those bills forward. This week I spent a lot of time with bills in the Housing Committee. One of those was a technical bill around tenants, some tenants' rights, and the other one was a tenant's right to repair. And so essentially that was saying if a tenant has items that need repair in their unit, they would notify their landlord that something is broken. If they don't hear back within 2 weeks, the tenant would have the right to have that fixed themselves. They would pay for it, they would submit the receipt to their landlord, and then that amount would come out of their rent the next month. And so giving tenants, empowering them to have more ability to have things fixed in their units in cases where landlords are not doing what they should be doing. And then the last bill I had in committee this week was around local public financing. This was in the Elections Committee, allowing local cities, towns, municipalities, if they choose to do so, to build a public financing program for elections, and so giving options for localities in our communities. And so I'm really excited for this session. My priorities will be related to the committees that I serve on. Certainly healthcare, there's a lot of good policy work around mental health care, child care, elections, certainly and strengthening and protecting our democracy. Perhaps the thing I'm most excited about is the Debt Fairness Act I'm carrying, and I'll make a separate video to share more details about that, but essentially injecting more fairness into our debt system. If people owe a debt, they should pay it, if we all agree about that, but the system should be fair. And there's a section in there around medical debt that I'm really excited about. So I'll share more about that later, but wanted to fill you in on what's happening in St. Paul. Reach out if you have questions. Another busy week next week, and I'll be back to share more. Have a great weekend.